Let me introduce myself maybe and what's going on. So my name is Yjinia. As you know, I'm head of our community, and also I'm representative of soft skills stream. So today I'll facilitate our lean coffee about time management, mental and physical health, work-life balance. So, and we are very welcome to see on today's session. So this lean coffee, so several words about the format. So we are here just for discussing topics, questions that you have related to defined topic themes. So there is why you will be free to ask everything you want just about time management, mental health, and work-life balance. And there are several experts, just also our colleagues from BE practice, who can just share their own expertise regarding these topics. So let me introduce Jan. Hi, Jan.
Yes, hello, welcome. Happy to be here on today's session. Hope that my experience in not following work-life balance and not managing my time well enough will be a warning for all of you not to follow my path, because sometimes it's just not worth it.
Yeah, so also thank you, Jan. Also, we have here Natalia Vlasiuk. Hi, Natash.
Yeah, hi. I don't know. Oh, okay. I turned on the camera because I could not turn it on. Yeah, hi everyone. So basically today, I hope we're gonna have a really nice conversation. Don't be shy to ask your questions. Don't be shy to answer the questions. Take it as a possibility for you to upgrade your presentation skills. So you are very welcome to speak up. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So also we have here Evelina. Hi, Evelina.
Hi guys, nice to see you. Nice to be with your company.
Okay, thank you. Also we have Katira here. Hi, Katira.
Hi everyone. I will contribute in next session. Here I'm as
Listener.
like visitor, yeah, no, but still glad to see you all.
Yeah, so but still, so Evelina and Katira are representative of soft skill stream. So thank you for just helping us with organization of this session. And also we have Dmitro Lazovitsky, who will be an expert on this session also. Hi, Dmitro. You're on mute.
Sorry guys. Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to this such great lean coffee session, and we have really nice topic today. So I hope that my experience also will be useful for you guys. With
Thanks.
my pleasure, I will share it.
So please find the link to the board in our chat, and let me share my screen. So here is it. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so let me start with a small explanation of rules of today's session. So please speak English. Please raise your hand before just sharing your opinion. Please mute yourself while you are not speaking. So respectful to each other. So, and I'll try to manage our time. I'm not sure how many questions we will have, but still, so if there are many, I'll just limit us in discussing each of them. So what are action items for us? So firstly, I'll provide you time to put all your questions related to time management, mental health, work-life balance to the first column. So please create your stickers in questions and topics. So then I'll provide you time for voting. So I'm not sure how many votes do you have, but still it's like about 5 or 6. So please try to vote for stickers you are mostly interested in. So and then just step by step we will discuss questions that are more interesting to today's audience, but still, so this session is like open discussion. So please, if you want to share your own opinion related to particular sticker or just topic question, so raise your hand, and then I'll provide you a word, so you will share your experience. So yes, any questions?
Everything is clear.
Okay, so let's start, I guess. One more time, the link you can find in our chat. So next 5 minutes for creating stickers and putting your questions on the column.
And while you will be doing that, just would like to also share a couple of thoughts in general about why this topic is important. Because at the moment we see that there is bigger and bigger emphasis. At EPAM we have the well-being program, that mental health is a really important factor that for many years in the past was negliged and was not really, the focus was not put on that. But with the growing demand, with the shortening amount of time, with the growing list of activities that we have, we really need to focus on making sure that whatever we are doing, it is we have either enough time for performing some activities, but also that those are the activities on which we really should focus, right? And work-life balance is definitely extremely important, which I definitely encourage everyone to follow that. Finding that balance. And by work-life balance, I don't mean that work equals life, and that you should be spending more time than it is expected for performing work activities, because other people say that it is easy to distinguish professional life and personal life, but at the same time, if something does not go well, it will affect the other area as well. So we need to find the right balance, not to make sure that to ensure that we will not be putting some activities on the side track, because later on, once some problems will aggregate, accumulate, it will be far more difficult to deal with those once they will appear. Psychologists call it the balloon effect. Like issues, problems, troubles, activities is like an air that fills the balloon. And if you will not let out the air every now and then, it is then important to release this air, because if you will not do it, the balloon will explode, and then all of those problems, all of those issues will appear at once. So yeah, better to avoid those kind of situations. And we already have two topics, two questions on the board. So thank you so much to whoever raised that.
So, and I guess we can start discussing them. So just all other guys, please just don't stop to put your questions or voting for questions in the board. But still, so I see a sticker with 2 votes, so we can start just with it. So how to deal with stress when you have close deadline?
Oh.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite topics, actually, because having sometimes a lot of assessment sessions, L&D training sessions, you need at the end of the year when we need to provide the feedback, and we have still the project activities and closing to the release date. Suddenly, all of this aggregates all together, and the day is becoming shorter. A lot of it depends, I think, greatly on how you deal with stress. I mean, for some people, stress is paralyzing. For some people, stress is a motivator that, we procrastinate activities to the very last moment. And then when we have the deadline, we suddenly feel very motivated and very engaged to perform the task. What is question to everyone? What is your perception of dealing with the deadline? Are you more stressed? Are you more engaged?
Do you mean me?
I mean the whole group in general. Like I would like to invite people.
Natalia, yes.
Yeah, so for me, the closer deadline is coming, the more motivated I become, and the more like I gather together all my power. And I knew some techniques that I use for dealing with this tough deadline. First of all, I create a schedule. I take a whole amount of work and divide, understand the whole scope of the work, and count the days till the deadline. And then I try to break the whole scope of work into even parts. And every day I try to do something to that is this amount of work that keeping it helps me not to procrastinate, and just keep it to the schedule. This is really helpful because if every day you know that you're working, especially if you're doing like this certain amount of work that you planned, but if you still have some energy, you do a little bit more, so you know that you're forwarding the schedule, and this is really gives you good feeling that everything works fine and the stress reduces. Also, I'm a lot into some techniques like mindfulness techniques. I do meditations. I do breathing practices. This is also what really helps you to stay focused and not to get too emotional, to keep it professional. And for example, like some workups in the morning, some physical activity. For example, I try in summer, not now. Now I'm just trying to do this, but in summer, I try to wake up early with the sun and go to the river, do stand barefoot on the grass and do some breathing techniques. And this morning activity really fulfilled me, and I felt like it was the best time of my life, I guess, in my 30s, when I really understood that this waking up early and doing physical activity in the morning really helps you stay productive and motivated.
There is actually a very good recording you can find on YouTube about why it is important to make your bed in the morning, that you have this opportunity to get the sense of achievement, that if you already made the bed in the morning, it sets your mind set to achieve other tasks as well, right? So that's why it's also a good way to put yourself on in that focus time. Dima, I see you have a raised hand.
Yes, sure. I just want to share my experience with deadlines, in general. So for me personally, I try to abstract from the pressure in such a way that I realized that any kind of deadlines, any kind of general or global task that you should perform is just a competition, professional competition. So you can lose, you can win, but this is a process. So when you realize that fact, that you are free in your actions, you won't be under so high pressure. And this approach personally helps me to be more motivated and stay with proactive actions in my practice. Yeah, when I realized that nothing personally, but this is just a competition. So maybe it also could be helpful for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
I can just share my own experience. Just if you have no problems with procrastination, just try to define a plan which should be done just before this deadline, for just I don't know, meeting this deadline successfully. So, and just step by step, you should follow this plan. So in this case, you'll be all the time just aware. So what is your current status? So you will not face with something unexpected expected. So in this time, in this particular case, you'll be like, I don't know, not without any stress, but still, so you'll be fully sure that everything is okay and everything is prepared by a particular time. I see one more raised hand. Evelina, hi.
Yeah, hi guys again. From my experience, I had a case when I worked with my psychologist with anxiety before the assessment and visualization of all stages, all emotions, and these internal transitions between these stages was very useful for me because I felt it, I experienced them in my head and was super calm on assessment session because I went through whole emotions and was psychologically ready to face it in life. So sometimes it can also work well.
Okay, thank you.
I think in general, important aspect of dealing with the stress is really identifying this, and this is also like same thing with anxiety. That if you acknowledge the anxiety, it can help us to overcome it and not be paralyzed with fear, with stress, but just we realize we are about to do something of great importance. Okay, so let's divide and conquer. Let's see what I can do, what I need to do, what would be expected to do in order to have this activity done, right? So, divide this big task into smaller ones, actionable items that step by step will help me actually get closer to reach that overall big deadline of the activity.
Okay, thank you. So, guys, if you have any other questions related to particular point, please put them into discussion or just in comments. So, and we will discuss them later. And right now, let's move on with the next one. Is there a work-life balance, or this is a myth?
Really good question.
I would have to say something what I've learned from my development team in Minsk. A lot of things come with the cultural difference and the aspect of how we perceive work. Because I'm right now located in Gdańsk office, and when I walk in the office around 6 o'clock and I see people working there, I can tell them "Привет," and they will reply to me because no Polish people or very few Polish people are in the office at 6 o'clock in the evening. That's just our working culture, and we very much put a very big emphasis on the work-life balance. People who relocate to Poland from Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, they are complaining about, for example, sometimes the taxes and the difference between gross and net salary, but they are happy with the work-life balance itself, right? So that's the reason why they sometimes relocate. But what I learned from my team in Minsk is that, and this is something that I definitely admire, is that you sometimes prefer to spend time. I mean, people there prefer to spend time longer in the office to finish a certain task, so that on the next day they will be able to start fresh with their clear mind instead of thinking where they have left off, where they have, maybe even on the next day there will be a critical important email that they will start working on instead of working on the tasks they haven't finished on the last day. But sometimes some people in Poland, even if I'm writing a sentence with my pen, 4:30 I drop the pen, I get up, I go home, because work-life balance is of such a high importance to people here.
I see a raised hand, Katira, but a small question to Jan. But still, you're Polish and you're working, I don't know, till 9 p.m. So
Well,
usual.
okay, so that's the problem, because I am a very lazy person stuck in a body of a workaholic. That's why I very often procrastinate. When I was doing a training presentation on the time management, I had a training session on Wednesday, and I finished the presentation work on Tuesday at 2 a.m. just because I was too lazy to get it done before. So I still, manage my time well enough to deliver that presentation and to do the training, but I'm, like I said, I'm not a very good example of work-life balance, because some people lead by example. I lead by anti-pattern. I check what is not working, and I don't want other people to follow my lead. My work-life balance and connection with EPAM is so strong that even my wife works at EPAM. So yeah, perfect work-life balance.
Okay, thank you. Natasha, hi.
Yeah, for me, everything that Jan told is very nice, and I just wanted to highlight one thing to keep your work and life balance good. Please, my advice, what I understand for me and what is very important, take a break in the middle of a day. Not just during writing some user stories, have a sandwich, and just then go back to the meetings and all the stuff. Have a real break. Go outside. Go to the river, go to the forest, walk around the city, but have this hour of a break during the day. This is really helps you to be productive, because when you have this break, you clear your mind, you can go for shopping, for example. You can go find something like to switch your attention to a totally different point, and after that you will get back fully refreshed to your business, and you will do more and be more productive than if you will be working all the time. This is my what I see in my life.
Thanks. Dmitro, your raised hand.
Yeah, sure. So as for me, guys, I think that personally for me, yeah, work-life balance is the ability to make some kind of priorities in your life areas, yeah, and just be flexible in different periods of your life on what should you concentrate your attention and your efforts. So I think that work-life balance is not a stable point of something. This is some kind of the ability or way where you try to find out what is the main goal for you in your life, and or in your work, yeah, etc. And you try to find you try to find the resources to reach out that, and after that switch to another one. So this is personally for me, it seems like a way when you try to be flexible and efficient, yeah. So, and I want to add my voice to everything that Guy said about that, especially about some kind of breaks. For me personally, works sports activities very well. It's just switch your mind, switch your thoughts, and clean up your brain from the stress. Yeah. So also that's good. Thank you.
Thanks, Dmitro. Katira, I see your raised hand. You're muted.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Um, I want to mention about 2 points. Jan now mentioned about the ritual of making bed after waking up, just like the day start, and make it like a sign that day started, and it's time to create your day. And there is also a ritual after completing the work. It's like pushing your chair under the desk. And with this ritual, it's also possible to make yourself like a sign that work is over, and now your other side of life begins. So that's the first point, and the second point is that environment is really like impacts your life. For example, I was returning from work very tired, and I was thinking that for now the day is over and I'll go and have a rest. But then I realized that there is a meeting of our soft skills stream, and I joined this stream and saw that many people many people wants to make great cool things, and I was like very like motivated and also like wanted to make something, make a difference, and take some task of first stream, and that's all.
Thank you. Jan, also your hand.
I would like to address what Natalia and what Dima said, because Dima mentioned about to find the priorities, and I'm super happy, Dima, that you used the word to find priorities in life. That you know that it already shows that life is not only about work, not only about the activities that we have, and definitely it's important to find what motivates us, what brings us happy, what is important for us in life in general, right? When Natalia mentioned about taking a break, notice the fun fact that when you go somewhere for the first time, your brain takes more time to actually get adjusted to the new environment, and thanks to that, it kind of resets itself and recalibrates itself. That's why the road to that destination point takes longer than the road back, despite the fact you're covering the same distance, unless you are, of course, climbing up the mountain and going down the mountain. Going down the mountain is easier. But that's an interesting way to help your brain reset, because coming back to what also Dima said, if you take a break from work and do activity sports, you are exhausted physically, you go to sleep, on the next day you feel regenerated. But when you are tired mentally, even if you'll be sleeping for a whole week, you will not rest. That's why it's important to do something else, break the pattern. Like, for example, Natalia mentioned, go to the river, walk barefoot on the grass, enjoy the little things, enjoy the feeling of the sun on your face, for example, right? And that's why also in the chat, I will share with you the link to a presentation from the learning week that we had recently about the philosophy of the time management for you to watch in the spare time. It's not about Pomodoro technique or about Eisenhower matrix or all of that other corpo stuff. It's more about finding what is important for you, why it is important for you, and whether it is really valuable to sacrifice your time, your energy to some activities that you are performing throughout the day. Because we don't have unlimited time in our life, right? That's why it's very important to make sure that whatever we are doing is aligned with the priorities that we have and that we would like to follow in our life.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you, guys, for sharing your experience. And let's move on, as we have not so many time, but still we have a lot of questions. So the next one, importance of adding non-project activities to your already overloaded work life. Okay.
It's all about the money.
It's not only about money, no. It's like about contribution, networking, about
And contribution bonus.
maybe so, but it depends on motivation, I believe,
Of
because
course,
yeah. So if you are
I'm
interested,
only joking.
yeah. So if you are interested in, I don't know, just communicating with your colleagues, with I don't know, just to improve or develop your network. So all non-project activities can help you with that. But still, so if you are too overloaded with your project, so how you can spend some additional time for, I don't know, any other activities. But still a lot of raised hand. So I see also. So let's start with Katira.
Thank you. I wanted to tell about the teacher who was like angry on their student, and he was like talking that I've explained it so much time to you that I've already understand it by myself. So no, maybe like contribution to that teaching events or something else can make you have more preparation on the topic that you think that you already know, but more like more you are working on topic, the more you can like understand it yourself. That's it.
Cool point. Thank you. Okay, let's move on, Natalia.
Yeah. So, what about me? Like, I am a champion in volunteering because yeah, I'm joking, but I really have a lots of volunteering streams that I'm participating. I'm currently on bench actually, but still I have a volunteering project that I have a load of 100%, and except of this, I have at least 2-3 other volunteering other streams that I take part in them. And what I wanted to say that when I started gathering those projects, first I took one and I was like, okay, this one is good. Then there was an offer for another one, and I was like, oh, this one is also interesting. And then another one, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm loaded, but I want to do this also. And you sometimes you even don't know your possibilities. You cannot imagine that you can do that much because when you are involved, like when you are interested, you don't give you give your energy, but you like don't waste it, and it returns to you. And also non-project activities like some kind of volunteering, this is the best way to meet really cool people who are also motivated, who are also proactive, and this is like a best way to make really cool friends with your colleagues who are not just like doing their boring amount of work and don't have any other. We don't have such colleagues, of course, in EPAM, but yeah, I'm telling, like, highly motivated people are also always engaged in any kinds of volunteering projects, and this is a really good way to take something from them, to learn something from them, to see their perspectives, to understand their expertise. So from me, it's like big like to non-project activities.
Perfect comment, Natalia. So please come to community and to contribute. So I'll be happy to see you all. Let's continue, Dmitro.
Thank you. So for me, colleagues, I think that non-project activities, this is a great opportunity to reload yourself from the routine work that we have every day in our life. Yep. And also, I think this is a pure pleasure. Yep, to cooperate with something with someone on something. Yeah, something interesting that drives you in your personal or professional life. And I think that this is a great way to improve yourself and help other people as well.
Thanks. Evelina.
Yeah, for me, non-project activities is real important because it helps to feel the realization of deep goals inside. And as Dmitro said, when you, for example, tired of your current project, you can find some support. You can feel that you are doing something that can change the world, change it to something better. So it's very supportive and good for mental health from my experience.
Thanks. And Jan, your hand.
I would just like to mention that it's funny thing that the perception we have in our head, because if I have only one task project and I will get another, like one non-project activity, my workload is increased by 100% because now I have two tasks, right? But if I have 10 tasks and I will get one more because I'm a, L&D trainer, contributor here, contributor there, whatever. I get this 11 task. My workload only increases by 10%. So you tell me what is bigger, 10 or 100%, right? So it's sometimes just a perception of our mind about the workload itself. And it greatly depends on what motivates you. And for me, I like to get involved in so many activities because I heard a quote of Richard Branson that customer doesn't come first, employee comes first. If you take care of the employees, they will take care of the company and they will take care of the customer. And that's my kind of leadership mindset, that people have decided, all of you have decided to work at EPAM. There is so many other IT companies in the world. You chose EPAM. And if there is anything that I can do to make the work at EPAM better, to make the atmosphere at EPAM better, to somehow, I don't know, share my knowledge with you, to participate in an event like this, to contribute to a BA community, then it's an awesome thing to have this opportunity to have a positive impact on the way we are shaping our company. And I think that's one of the best motivators we can find in general in the company.
And just from community side, I can add two things. That firstly, so most of our contributors, like in global BA community, they are too mature. They are they have strong expertise. So you can just get a lot of benefits and value from collaborating with them. Just not, it will be not like wasting time. And the second thing is like, I don't know, community sometimes is very, I don't know, not like entertaining, but still, while working on some things in team, so it can just make you relax sometimes, especially if you like very overloaded with your current project. So like working in these teams, so you can get such kind of relax and I don't know, reboot yourself, just I don't know, charge yourself and move on with your project. So okay, let's move on with the next point, and here is it: how to understand that you are in trouble with mental health and you need to ask for help.
Well, one time in my life, I had a situation in which I came back from a long vacation and I had 15 assessment requests waiting for me for my 3 assessment committees. I had to write feedback for 10 unit members. I have a release planned for the beginning of the January, and I came back from the vacation on 28th of November, if I remember correctly. And something else was happening. And one of my employees posted a resign letter to leave EPAM. So there was this amount of things happening at the same time. And I think I had some training sessions scheduled as well. And the way I've noticed, well, my body just told me, that's too much. And I started to experience physical symptoms of back pain, of not sleeping well enough, or even when sleeping, dreaming about work. I was dreaming about Excel spreadsheets. You can imagine how difficult that might be for your mental health to see spreadsheets while you try to rest. But in the end, I ended up for 1 week in a hospital just because of the amount of workload. My body has completely shut down because I was neglecting those symptoms. And I was thinking, I can charge too. Give me enough caffeine, give me enough energy drinks. I don't need sleep. Sleep is for the weak. No, like as soon as you start to experience the first symptoms, or as soon as you start to notice that it is more than 1 day where you actually do some overtime and you are spending more time at work, perhaps the work is not planned accordingly. Perhaps the deadline are too tight. Perhaps you require some assistance. The worst thing which we can do in general, and I learned that the hard way, is to be afraid to ask for assistance. Success or a failure of a project is never success or a failure of one person. It's always a joint effort, right? So if we are struggling with something, there is nothing wrong with asking someone, community member. In a company of 5,000 BAs worldwide, there must for sure be a BA who was dealing with a similar issue to which you are dealing at the moment. So maybe someone will be able there to help. I'm sure if people would reach out to me, I might not be able to answer to them straight away, but definitely I will find time to support and to assist.
Thanks, Natalia.
Yeah, so what I wanted to tell, I think this is a lot of about burnout also, and this is a lot of about your inner feeling. So I strongly believe that the purpose of human life, and even not even the purpose, but the normal state of human is happiness. So when we are glad, when we are happy, when we have some goals, when we have some dreams, this is a normal state. And everything, when you start feeling what Jan also mentioned, first of all, physical syndromes, when you lose your sleep, or when you start feeling that you're not that glad, and maybe the cup of coffee in the morning is not making you or your favorite movie, or walking, spending some time with your family is not making you happy anymore, and you're starting feeling that you are burning out, or you're just not happy. This is first symptoms that you should address yourself and ask yourself, is if everything all right? Because it is very important to understand it on the very first phases of this, when it's not that global. You can at that point you can just talk to your friend and talk to your colleagues, for example, and change it, pay some attention to your health and change it without needing to address to some specialist. But at the same time, I also wanted to tell you that nowadays world, we are not longer afraid to tell that I might experience some troubles with my mental health, and there is nothing wrong to address psychotherapist or psychologist or any other doctor that might talk to you or prescribe you something. This is also this is the same kind of this is the same like when your arm hurts, you go to the doctor and you say my arm hurts, or your liver hurts, or anything in your body hurts. Same with the mental health. This is also an illness that can be cured, and the earlier you understand that you are something is not as it was previously, and it not like you are totally comfortable with your state, you should address to a specialist and not be worried that this is something that should not happen to you. As long as you react very fast, it all can be changed very, very soon.
Thank you. Katira.
I want to join my colleagues in saying that you must listen to your condition, ask yourself, are you feeling all right today? But there is I want to remind you that there is a tool in EPAM, EPAM Pulse, who asks me every day, how do you feeling today? And if I don't want to answer positive, then I start to thinking about how to cope it, and everything that my colleagues previously said. That's it.
Thank you. So, Dmitro.
Yeah, sure. Great thoughts, colleagues. And I just want to add some maybe new aspect of this question. Yeah, I try to for myself. I know that burnout effect is the regular thing in our life, especially in our professional life, because we all of us moving forward in our career path, etc. So set the goals, reach these goals, etc., etc., etc. And it's normal for us to be burnout. Yep, from time to time. But the main thing is the next, that you need to watch yourself very carefully and try to find out the correct cyclical activities that you have in your life. For example, when you set the goals, you need to understand that you will have this period of time when you will be closer and closer to burnout, and you need to prepare yourself. You need to have some plan B, how you can refresh yourself, reload yourself, or just some kind of support yourself. Yep. So I just like these thoughts from our experts that you need to have some additional actions to recover yourself. Yeah. And the main thing, the key thing for you guys, I think that it should be some kind of system, or I don't know, approach to analyze your work style, work lifestyle. Yep. And understand just on time that you are underline of this or near this red line of burnout. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan.
I would like to mention address what Natalia mentioned, that our general state of mind is to be happy, right? And I think being from Poland, that's not the case. Like, we have a misconception that our national sport is football, but in fact, our national sport is complaining. Really, if you don't have half an hour in a day of your time that you want to spend, don't ask a person from Poland how they feel, because really we can complain about absolutely everything at any time. If you will wake us up in the middle of a night, we will also find at least 10 reasons to complain. So definitely happiness is not a permanent state of mind in Poland. We have a saying that respect being happy as it is just for rent. So yeah.
Okay,
Just a
thank
small
you.
thought.
And I also sent you in the chat the link to the questionnaire, how to define the level of your depression. So it's like, I don't know, stress, it's like a root or like cause for depression sometime. And sometimes we can't understand clearly that we have this depression. So it can be like very strong or like in the very beginning. So there is why just you can check yourself. Just in internet, you can search for some explanation of your results, and just based on this, define what you should do next. Jan, also.
Yeah, one important point whenever you'll be doing any kind of questionnaires or surveys, or like those kind of checkups, no one is like watching you. So please be honest with yourself, because sometimes my psychologist told me that sometimes whenever we are filling those kind of surveys, we answer not based on who we are, how we behave, but how we would like to perceive ourselves. So sometimes it's better to spend a bit more time to analyze really the root cause of the question, and to come up with some examples that would justify you answering this or that particular way. So that is important aspect to take that into consideration.
Yeah, so and these particular questionnaires that I sent you, it's like a medical approach of defining this depression level. So I'm not sure about any other questionnaires, so but still, so you can believe on the results of a particular one. Okay, I see no other raised hands, so let's move on. So the next point is how to manage your task in permanent multitasking.
Yeah, what can I say? Make lists. First of all, don't keep everything in your mind. Do notes, like a file with notes where you can list all the tasks that you have and give them priority. For example, you can use technique where the most prioritized task is tagged as A, less prioritized tag is tagged as B and C and all the other stuff. So some tasks will have A priority, some tasks will have B priority, and then you can also mention the deadlines. So yeah, don't keep it in your head and just keep everything written down. This is my advice.
Dmitro.
Yeah, sure. I like idea that was announced. Yep, about priorities. For me personally, I think that the main or key approach could be the next. Um, for example, I spend not less than 50% of my personal working time per day to perform the strategic tasks in working area, in personal area, etc. All other stuff I can manage on fly or trying to manage on fly. Of course, I won't expect 100 efficiency for operational tasks performance, but the main thing that you guys should realize that you will go forward in whatever you want in any kind of direction only in that case that if you will spend the time and you concentrate your attention on the work with your really strategic task that keep you ability to be to be on time in the planning in the planned area or point in your career, etc. So don't forget about strategic tasks. This is I think this is the main idea from me. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Jan.
I would like to say something slightly different because for me, multitasking doesn't work. And let's not confuse here doing multiple tasks in a day and multitasking, meaning doing multiple tasks at the same time, right? Because those are two completely separate things. And if I actually for a moment was considering doing this experiment when, for example, Dimitri was speaking, just to unmute myself and start talking at the same time. I decided not to do that because that would be impolite, but that would be an interesting experiment to show you that your mind would be able to focus only on one message or the other. You will not be able to listen to both of us at the same time. Or even worse, there will be so much noise that your mind would not listen to any of the message in general. We have one language processor in our head. That's why every time when I'm conducting a training, I'm asking people not to divide the time to other working activities, because either they will focus on having a conversation in Teams, or they will listen to what is happening in uh, in the training session. Think of it this way. If a colleague walks up to you, do an experiment. Start writing an email to someone while having a conversation to your colleague at the same time. It just doesn't work. I tested that, and the content of the conversation that I was having with my colleague appeared as the text in my email. Just because, despite the fact I knew what I wanted to write in the email, my mind took over and started to write different words. And multitasking works only if we do mundane tasks, like, for example, I don't know, ironing clothes and having a conversation with someone, driving the car and listening to something. But we will not be able to listen, write, and read at the same time altogether, just because of that limitation. That's why it's very important to introduce some time boxing, prioritizing the task, and ensuring that at a certain time you only perform one task, like Dima mentioned, the one that is strategic, important, valuable for you, for the project, for whatever the beneficiary is of that task.
Just here, I want to share one experiments, results of one experiments when, for example, like a person while walking the street, also he's talking to someone by phone, and if he should make decision to go not like straight, but still to turn to like left or right, so he will stop talking with person, or just he'll stop listening to this person because he need this time to make a decision just where he should go. So it's like also the proof of Jan's words. And I want to share.
I have a very quick question, just very quickly to the entire group, to the entire audience. can you please, like, to whoever is driving the car every now and then, did you have a situation in which you were about to park and you reduce the volume of the radio before parking? Can you give me a plus in the chat when you had that, if you had that situation?
200 pluses. So it's like my case, but still, like my own life hack, how to manage my time and like my approach here is like to in my schedule I set up particular slots when I have like silence mode, and I'm free from almost all calls. So when I don't know, have time to concentrate on particular things. So like this green, red, and this pause. So all other time slots are available for setting up calls, for example, with my team, with my project, and so on. But still, I have this silence. So when I just can concentrate on particular things, and you should do the same if you have all the time, like I don't know, a big wave of different tasks and from different sides. So you can do the same. So we have 4 minutes left, and we can just take one question. And the question is how to avoid burnout if you are a workaholic.
I just would like to also, Yjinia, just for fun, I just put a meeting invite in that time so that you have free time. So just send you the meeting invite. You can reject that, of course, but also notice the fact what Yjinia did. She has color coded her calendar, which also helps to identify priorities, group of tasks, group of activities. So it also kind of helps her to know with whom she needs to meet, what she needs to prepare, just at a glimpse of a view. So categorizing your calendar with colors is also a good way to manage that.
Yeah, exactly.
And when it comes to this, how to avoid burnout if you're a workaholic, this is something that I have struggled with because, like I mentioned, I am a lazy person in the body of a workaholic, and this workaholic who is steering every of my activity is often taking over. Where I would like to sit down, do nothing, and just rest and relax, and I don't know, sleep half of the day. But again, it all comes, at least for me, it all comes down to the priorities which we have and to what motivates you, what give you the strength, and whether, coming back to this main important question, is it worth it? And is it worth your time? And by time, I'm not talking about the hours, but I'm talking about your life, right? That's why if you find there's a saying, if it's important to you, you'll find a way. If it's not important, you'll find an excuse, right? So that's at least my way of dealing with avoiding the burnout. But it's also important every now and then to reward yourself. Like a moment ago, I just rewarded myself with a nice candy, which is very good. It's important to just have some kind of this small appreciation moments that when you do a training session, when you do an like interview, an assessment session, award yourself with something, like you did something good. Pat yourself on the back. You will receive the automatic badge from the Hero portal, but also you can, do something for yourself. Eat candy, for example, small treats.
Thanks. But my personal opinion that so workaholics shouldn't be afraid of burning out just because they enjoy of working of their work. So it's like I don't know, something instead of hobby. Of course, we should have like hobby instead of our work, but still. So as we love what we are doing, so why we should be afraid of
I mean,
being overloaded or spending a lot
Yeah.
of time.
well, the thing is, workaholism is a disease, right, or a sickness. I don't know what is the proper English word for this, but and that's why it is also when we notice the fact that our life only revolves around work and that we spend way too much time into that. It is important to sometimes potentially again seek help, seek assistance. That we want to do something more with our life than just work.
Evelina, last
Yeah,
minute.
last words about workaholics and clarification of it. It is also important to understand the person is real workaholic or he would like to be a workaholic to get this successful success that is so popular now. So not always the person is workaholic, but sometimes the culture is the system likes and move person to be a workaholic or look like for a workaholic.
Thanks. So, the results of today's session. So, we managed to answer only 5 questions, 6, sorry. So yes, we have 5 more questions that are not answered, but still. So I believe that in our stream, in soft skills stream, soon we will clarify them. But still, we are going to conduct 3 more Lean Coffee sessions. Just please go to our community, and there you will find all these invitations. Yes, thank you for joining us today. Thank you, experts, for sharing your opinion, for just spending your time with us. So, and see you guys on the next session. Have a
Thank
good
you.
Friday.
Have a great Friday and weekend.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Take good care. Stay safe. Stay
Thank
happy.
you.
Stay healthy.
Bye, guys.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.